Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you do the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. I know that you guys know the deal. Now, also know if you're new to the channel, I like to go deep within my reading. So I do look at everything, but we definitely take more time to look at the spiritual blocks and shadows and see how they play out as karmic themes within your experiences. I pride myself on being a healer, so all my channels have a healing style. So when we're talking about transpersonal psychology, we're talking about spiritual psychology. Say that there's a spiritual part of self, which is the God part of self. It's our connection to each other. It's called empathy and sensitivity. We can feel it. And that energy transcends all time and space. So when you run into a soulmate, any type of soulmate, again, soul family, member, you know them by, again, the way that they feel. It's an energetic feel. And again, there's one of familiarity and comfort and unconditional love. And then there's the dust part of ourself, which is a part of ourself, which, you know, where what we perceive as our identity. So we're born into families, so we consider ourselves whatever the nationality that we're born into, the culture we're born into, the belief systems that we're born into. Now, the problem is that on a collective level, that things are also happening. And those things that are happening, a lot of times are not in alignment with, again, something that is associated with either our gender, our identity, and somehow our culture, our religious beliefs, whatever it is, it's again something that makes us perceive that there's something wrong with us. So again, sometimes we're born into family karma, and that's again being born into problems. And those problems could be codependency, it could be addiction, it could be poverty consciousness. And so we inherit these spiritual blocks, and we don't really know that. We know that we've inherited them because we know that certain topics can trigger us, but we don't know how those spiritual blocks affect our personal life, our relationships, how they play out in our everyday affairs. And so, again, we're spiritual beings having human experiences. Your energy is of unconditional love. When we're born into imbalances, we form behaviorisms and habits that are in alignment with those spiritual blocks, which makes us perceive that we can't have something, which makes us perceive, again, that we're not good enough, that keeps us in a place of disempowerment, let's just say, keeps us in a place of fear. And so, again, part of being a spiritual being means that you need to integrate the spiritual lesson in order to transcend the limitations of your mind. So, these readings are all about integrating those spiritual blocks to help you evolve into the highest state of consciousness, which is unconditional love. Now, I offer a shadow healing coaching program, and that includes inner child healing, shadow healing, and reparenting. And really, we haven't even gotten to the healing modalities that heal the effects of trauma because we get really caught up in the we really have been getting caught up in this spiritual, the shadows, right now, because there's really so much to learn. And if you're someone that wants to understand why you're manifesting what you're manifesting, well, you should join my Psychic Soul Healer um subscription. And it's because we right now are really in the heart of learning all about what creates the spiritual blocks and the emotional triggers. And once you know what yours are and you can identify through what we're talking about in the class, well, you can apply the knowledge to your life. And once you do, you shape shift your situation. If you're someone that continues to live in karmic theme, and the karmic theme keeps you stuck in a karmic loop, and that karmic loop is, I feel like people don't understand me. I feel like I'm not good enough. Feel like there's something wrong with me. I feel whatever it is, I can guarantee the majority of people don't feel that way about you. You may think that they do. However, a lot of times what happens is that because you perceive that, you walk into new situations with the same behaviorisms that created that response. So again, that is what the block is. The block is not seeing how you are contributing to the imbalances within your relationships. So, like I said, without awareness, you can't heal, but you are your own healer. So, being able to apply the information to your life is how we are able to transmute the spiritual blocks. And we haven't even gotten to like all of it, where I'll be doing oracle spreads, and I'll be doing like really giveaways and for everything for my subscribers to and for the people that join the subscription, really because they want to learn. These people want to learn, and it's not an easy process. And it's learning is not a lot of times fun. We make it fun. We interact with each other. So if you're someone that's in need of healing, you definitely want to check out my subscription. It's only $7.99 a month, but gives you a wealth of knowledge. But you have to be serious. And this is not that you get on and you're able to ask me 1,000 questions about your personal life either. This is real shadow healing coaching. We do talk about the blocks. However, it's really, we try to dive deep into what is blocking you from manifesting the life and the life experiences that you want to have. So I just really wanted to put that out there, that there is hope. There is a hope. So you don't have to think that you can never have love, or you can never be able to financially support yourself, or that if you find that you're living in a state of anxiety, that you're always bobbing back and forth between anxiety and depression, then you definitely want to seek help. You got to love yourself first. You teach people the way you want to be treated. But if you don't love yourself, then it doesn't matter what you say. It matters what you teach people. And so a lot of people make the mistake of not treating themselves well because they don't really understand themselves, and then treat people that come into their life a lot better. And that is what sabotages the connection, because most people overgive when they are coming from a place of lack. And so again, the behaviorisms come out where you overgive. You may apologize for stuff, you're too attentive to another person's needs when they're not giving you equal exchange. Again, we are not conscious when we're caught up in the connection of these soul relationships. So again, learning. It's all about learning. All right. Now, everybody knows that I'm going through a lot of personal stuff within my life right now. I want to thank everybody for their warm wishes, and they're always reaching out to me, always putting out positivity on my channel. I want to thank everybody for that. I know, enough. Get to the reading already. I get it. But I wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you. I do. I really appreciate you. Sometimes it's not easy. It's not. Life isn't easy, especially, you know, transitions. All right. Now, if you want to enter into a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. It's the underlining energy that's helping me why everyone's doing what they're doing. You know that there's probably going to be a super long video because of all the talk in the beginning. All right, guilt, remorse. I feel like we pulled that one the other day, so I'm going to pull another one. It's not uncommon if you do readings often that the same underlining energy is not going to be that much different. Um, but I just feel like, I feel like the reason why I'm pulling this is because in the beginning, like, I feel like you're in separation from this person. I felt a little bit guilty. They felt a little bit guilty, but they were able to, like, push it to the back of their head that what they did to you, how they treated you. And I feel as if, like, as time goes by, the weight of it is like severe. And I don't believe that this person has ever really experienced guilt, you know, that way they have to look at their feelings. I'm also feeling like a lot's going on in this person's life. Like they're going through like a dark night of the soul right now. So they're almost like forced to look at their behavior because it's not just you. I feel like there's other things that are like transpiring in this person's life that's really shaking this person to the core. So again, they're being forced to look at, and possibly because you're someone that they used to confide in. You're someone that felt like home, almost like mothering. I feel like, and so I don't think that you like that energy either. That you like it. Yeah, I didn't want to really be the mother. I didn't really want to be that person. That I wanted a balanced relationship. But I feel like you always felt like this person like compartmentalized you, like always put you in a box, but that box like didn't really make you feel special. It was more like isolating, didn't really make you feel important. Like you knew that they cared about you, but again, it was some like where you weren't emotionally getting, like it was enough that this person knew that you were there, and so, like, I feel like there was always feelings, but I don't feel like they gave you anything. I don't feel like, and I feel like that's what they're guilty about. They're guilty because they purposely did that. And they know that you know that they did it purposely. So this is what's making them feel guilty. This is why they can't actually like look away at what they did. Now, I also feel like again, and you look at them as like again the disappointment, and I think this person thinks that you look at them like as disappointment, but I feel like they look at themselves, and it's because this connection could have been something. This and that's why this person has guilt because they're like they realize, and I feel like they're looking at things through a different perception. I feel like when things transpired with you and you said something, um, and I feel like this person just didn't give you anything, and you finally said something and they still didn't, they came at you almost like that they didn't care. Whatever you said triggered this person that whether again I don't even feel like you said it to their face. I feel like it was transpired in a text message, believe it or not. And that this person read the text message and then got triggered because they didn't read the text message all of the way. And so they acted like an asshole where they just were like, instead of talking it out with you, they blocked you. They unfriended you off like social media, they blocked you, they they did all this instead of having a conversation. And now for whatever reason, I feel like you guys have been in separation for a long time, that this person has gone back to like read their text messages to figure out what went wrong, to see like why didn't you come back, because they always thought that you were going to come back. They didn't realize that whatever they said like pissed you off to a point that you just detached from them and you didn't say anything. This person likes fireworks and there was no fireworks. You just bowed out gracefully. And so this person's like trying to figure out like what actually transpired. And so like why did you just detach? Like did you meet somebody else? But there's a sense that they really know in their heart that you did not meet somebody else. They know that it's something that they did because they know that they didn't give you anything. And so they acted like they didn't care. That's really what it is. They feel that now again, that when they look back on the situation, they're realizing, like you said, that they gave to a lot of other people that weren't worth their time. But I don't think that this person would have known. There was a sense that I feel like when you met this person, they just never thought that it was the right time. There was a sense of what they were looking for in a person. I feel like they weren't looking for anything serious, and there was always a sense that you were too serious. Virgo is known to come across very serious. Like, this is the person that I would like to marry, but I am not ready to be married to you. And there was also a sense of it bothered them even when like they were doing it a little bit. Like there was a sense that you were always nice, you didn't expect anything, and this person like came in and out of your life and they didn't offer anything. And they're like, all the people that I gave to, like, it's like, and they weren't worth shit. And now it's like, I know that you are like worth it, but I acted like I didn't care. And I realize now, like that I was a disappointment to you. And I really, at the time, thought that you did something to me. Where really I'm disappointed that I fucked up this situation and didn't really look at the situation that played out properly. I was triggered. And so it's again, they're like, they don't really think that they can fix it. So this is the energy. I feel like this person has a very low self-esteem. There's a sense of that because it's like, okay, if you like somebody so much, why stay in a place of feeling bad instead of fixing it? What did this person do? Again, I feel like they perceived like you were very confrontational. So it's like you did say something to them. Again, you weren't getting enough time. You acted like they weren't genuine. There was a sense that anytime that the conversation really got deep, they wouldn't let it go deep. And that could be talking about anything personal, like God forbid someone died, someone got married, someone had a baby, something that's important that would actually create an emotional connection between you and them. They wouldn't give you anything, and they gave to other people, and they kind of let you know it. And there was a sense of you saying something to them and them playing stupid, them pretending like that they didn't know what um you were saying. But really, it's like this person you just felt like after a while was like, you're just too insecure for me. It's like you're trying to make me feel insecure, but I'm not insecure. And I feel like Virgos aren't insecure. I feel like, thank God you met this person in a place where you were like strong. And so you're like, it doesn't mean that it doesn't bother you. It means that you recognized what they were doing, which is why I think that you just bowed out gracefully. You said whatever you said. You didn't like their response. You bowed out gracefully. They thought that they were going to like play this game. They thought that you were going to cave because they could feel that there was a connection. You're the person that I'm going to marry one day. However, that day is not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. I'm not going to give you shit. I'm going to give you I'm gonna date all these other fucking people. And guess what? I'm most likely gonna sabotage this connection because I need to test every single flavor in the ice cream store before I really know that you're my person. And in that, it's like I'm never gonna give you anything because I never really know. So I feel like you knew this. You're like, you'll have me on hold forever and not giving, just jerk me around and come in and give me breadcrumbs. And one day we're going to be together, and one day trying to make me feel insecure. But really, you're insecure because this is a real fucking connection where all those are just like, again, like going to an ice cream store and getting a different flavor ice cream every fucking day. And just for the sake of trying something new, to the point that now this person, of course, is seeing things different because they don't want to do all that. They did all that already, and they have seen that there is nobody else that compares to you. But now it's like you said, they're hopeless because they're seeing things from a very different perception where they again saw you as like speaking your mind, standing up for yourself, where now this person actually looks at you and respects you, where before you were a pain in the ass, you were continually confronting them, you again like drama, like again, where really the truth of the matter is, it's like this person doesn't really feel up onto your level. They kind of feel inadequate. They kind of feel like they don't really belong. It's like I feel like you're someone that again, this person didn't know you. And I feel like they were so busy running around with all these other people that they never took the time. Well, again, they felt like I'm gonna keep my foot in the door. And again, but I'm not really gonna treat you. And, it's like it's so stupid because it's like it doesn't even logically make sense. I'm not going to treat you that well so that you don't expect too much. And I'm going to allow you to see what I do, and you're going to chase me. However, you're the person that I want to be with. But if you were to do all that, this person wouldn't want to be with you at all. So again, it's that very insecure, which I feel like you saw that. You're like, you're fucked up. It's like you want your cake and eat it too. You are annoyed because I stand up for myself and I set boundaries for myself because I respect myself. And it's like, and you have an attitude. You feel like you're the one that's out of attitude. You're the one that's like inadequate. You're the one that has something wrong with you. And I feel like this person has never been confronted with a person that has that strong of a personality where that they've been attracted to. Usually if someone says something and they're like, oh, I don't really fucking care. Like, who the hell are you? Like, you're gonna say something. I don't care. I can get like somebody better than you. But the problem is that you said something, and what they see is they can't get anyone better than you. They might have a lot of options, but those options are like the bottom of the barrel because they don't give anything. It's again, they play games. They're reckless. They don't really want to be in any type of committed relationship or at that time when they met you. So I feel like they were all over their place because they were very insecure. I feel like they didn't have a good example of a relationship, like, and that can be just because the people that they deal with. Yeah, and coming from a place of trauma, right? It's so I feel like this person has unresolved trauma. And again, I believe that's childhood trauma. So they grew up in a very like codependent environment that was extremely toxic. There was addictions. There was there was a lot of betrayal. And that's where trauma comes from when we're talking about psychological. Now that betrayal could just be that this person's father cheated or mother cheated or somebody wasn't around on an emotional level and that put the brunt on one parent. But here I feel like it wasn't. I feel like that there was infidelity. I also feel like there was alcoholism, and I also feel as if there was just a lot of drama, like where one person is doing all the work and has very little resources to make the home work. And then everybody else is like kind of living in fear. And because of the one parent that's drinking, that has like a lot of anger, is living the way that they want to live. Like it's almost like two sets of rules when you see that type of trauma bond. You have someone that's empathic, that's sensitive, that tries to make up for everything. And so in that, I feel like your person was never really raised, meaning they, whatever they did that was wrong, the parent looked the other way because of what they had to deal with at home from that abusive parent. And that a lot of times is what creates it. It's almost like how narcissists are born. And so where the child continues to do bad things. And I feel like part of the bad things was uh that they had like a sex addiction, like they, and it might not have been like where they were screwing millions of people, but I feel like they kept sabotaging their life over like getting into very promiscuous relationships. So they might have again been running around in college and where they weren't paying attention to school, or someone accused them of rape, or someone accused them of, being touching them or putting them in a position that was uncomfortable when they were just very promiscuous and they didn't really want any relationship. They would go into every single relationship pretending that they wanted a relationship. So they would create a lot of drama in the relationship. So here, this person meets you, and there is a real connection. This person's like, yeah, I want to be in a connection with you. Like one day we'll be married. One day you're the type of person because, there's a lot of mothering energy. Again, this person like associates you almost like having the same energy as their mom, someone that was very loving, someone that's very kind, someone that's like over giving, but in it, it's again very compartmentalized because no one wants to be anyone's mom. So again, you see how the trauma again will play out and really affect the relationships, where if you're not again following that role that this person wants you to be, then they confront you, then they have a problem with you. So I feel like this person like is very controlling, though they may pretend that they're not controlling. um where again makes your life feel really upside down because you're like, first of all, I feel like I can't trust you because you're always running around getting attention from other people. Number two, it's like the whole respect thing. Like you expect to be in a relationship with someone that right off the bat gives you the minimum, which is respect. I feel like this person, because they're insecure, they always elevate themselves where they try to make themselves feel more superior. And so, again, in that, they overcompensate within their behaviors where they'll give you less, they'll make you feel like shit. Now, again, that works for people that, again, don't care about themselves, but it didn't work with you. Now they're in a different space. So again, and when there was an argument because again, this person saw that you again confronted them, and I feel like they got irritated because again, you're asking them too many questions. So it's a very narcissistic thing. Like, I'm gonna argue with you and make like a mountain over a molehill to create separation. So sometimes they would just argue because it's like I don't really want to like be in this like consistent relationship. This person likes to deliberately create inconsistency within a relationship. They don't like to make anyone feel safe in a relationship. And again, the reason why is because, hey, I don't have to do that much. If I'm connected to someone and I come in and I'm very sexually attracted to that person, and I'm able to get in that way, well, then I form the emotional connection where they're going to continue to give to me. And I don't really have to give that much, where I feel like with you, you were boring. Again, you were more like a mothering type, a nurturing type, someone that they would marry, not somebody that they wanted to like hang out with now. And so, again, when they wanted to create space, they would deliberately create an argument. And just because I feel like the connection between you and them, that consistency, is actually like boring to a person that grew up in an environment that was like, again, the dynamic was that they didn't feel safe. And they didn't feel safe because one of those parents, like, again, was not consistent in being there emotionally, had addictions, and again, there was like a lack of resources where one parent had to do everything and that one parent wasn't supported. So there's a sense of, again, even them getting abused, even them again not feeling safe. So when you grow up in an environment like that, you inherit family karma. And I feel like this person, again, just to be in a regular, consistent, day in, day out relationship is boring to them. They need the drama. So they create drama. Again, this is why they create arguments. And trauma will do that. So, we have to ask ourselves, so then what is this person going to do? Like, again, being that they think that I'm the person that they're gonna marry, but they haven't been here, they haven't done shit. They just think, like, it's very delusional thinking, but the ego will do that. The ego will continually do that, especially being that this person is insecure. So they have this these deep feelings for you and they feel this soul connection. So they just almost feel like it's in the bag, is what I feel like. But I feel like that they didn't do anything within the relationship. Again, so that you're in a different place. I feel like this person's delusional a little bit. But let's see again. Yeah, this person feels like, yeah, like they're right now, they're like waiting for the appropriate time. It's almost like they want to race in and talk to you. And I feel like it's because you've moved away and that they would like to, I feel like they want to come in really fast for passion. Okay, that's still there. And that, okay, but it would be very short-lived. See? So it's like, again, so like quick to action. They think that it would be in the bag, but I feel like this person, the way that it would be, again, they want the passion, but it's, again, it would be short-lived. And I feel like the thing is, it's like there's almost like a sense of, I feel like I can still have that. And I feel like the reason why they think that is because they never came back to, they never gave the relationship any closure. Even though you've disconnected from this person, I feel like they're a little bit delusional. And they're delusional because they're like, you had feelings for me and strong feelings for me. And I never said anything to you. So I feel like there's a part of them that thinks that they can still come in and still talk to you. Yeah, but see, it's like, but they also like know that at this time, like they're not going to do it. They're almost like waiting for the right time to do it. And the reason why is because I feel like something's happening within your life. I feel like you're gonna get a lot of recognition. You're, again, whatever it is that you're doing, whether that's within your career, whether that's within something within your community, whether it's again, you're going to get almost like the spotlight is on you. So again, this person's watching you. And what I feel like it is that they're watching you succeed. See, I feel like you disconnected from this person, and this person has been watching you the whole time. There's a part of them that would love to come back into your life, but they don't think that they can repair it. So now, I don't think you're gonna like what I have to say, but I feel like this person's been stewing in the fact that you got away from them. I feel like they're angry that you got away from them. And it's like, again, because they want to come in, and whereas again, it was short lived, but it's all about passion. So, and they feel like, again, they can have it because, again, if they come in very quick, and why I'm saying is, and they would do it at this time because part of it is, again, whatever's going on in your life. It's again because they would, first of all, feel like you're moving on. Second of all, the spotlight's on you. This person's a bit narcissistic. So it's like whatever's going on in your life, they're hoping to be able to have, be a part of, to have a piece of, or ruin you, create a spectacle. Again, because there's a sense of you move forward. And I feel like there's negative energy where this person again has trauma that they haven't healed. And part of that trauma is their relationships don't work out. And their relationships don't work out because this person like takes advantage of people. And I think they kind of get off on it. Hurt people, hurt people. And so there's almost like when they like someone, they tend to abuse that person. And they abuse that person because however they were raised, they have a lot of the same tendencies. I feel like this person drinks a lot. I feel like they could be very abusive. And I feel like they're narcissistic. And so I feel like this person is, again, they are watching. They are watching you right now. And they're watching you because again, things are happening within your life. They're waiting for the right time. But understand there's also like a lot of time is passing. I feel like this person is nervous that you're gonna meet somebody else. In the interim, they are very irritated though. Like what I feel like is driving them is that they're extremely irritated, but they are very worried that you're gonna move on because it's not like they don't have feelings. But their feelings, I feel like they associate like love almost with dominance, almost with you being like submissive to them. Like, but meanwhile, like things are happening in your life. You're going to get the spotlight. And this person doesn't like where they are in their life. And you got away from them. You detach from them. They don't like the way that you just detach from them. Who are you to detach from them? I feel like, again, they perceive you to be like, I don't know, maybe like some like perfect, like saintly, like Stepford wife or something, like someone that was gonna be like like almost like a Mormon, like somebody that was not even a Mormon, somebody that like someone that was very like almost like an Amish person, I feel that was very you know very subservient to their husband. And I don't know whether the Amish people are that way, but there's a sense of, again, very old fashioned, very, you feel like living on the prairie, you know what I mean, and where you're subservient to them. Like in their mind it's almost like they create like a Madonna mother type figure that I feel like they associate you with. I mean, and I feel like look at the prayer beads, right? The worry beads. It's like it said, I just get that feeling, though they're nervous and they're worried that you're going to move on and that you're going to get away and your life is going to be good. So, and that's like, I almost feel like there's an anxiety there, like, oh my God, like you got away from them, which is like a real freak out energy that I don't like. Yeah, because again, their pride. It's like you triggered this person. You triggered them, and you caught them off guard, and here it is. There is this connection that they feel that is timeless, right? It is timeless because I feel it's a karmic mate. This person's a karmic mate. And that's why it is timeless. That's why you have to, again, pay attention to what you feel. And I feel like this person worries you too, because you see the writing on the wall. That's why you detached. Um, you actually fear this person. And it's because, like I said, there is a sense um, that there is this unconditional love. And at one time, like there was a hope that there would be a romance, which is why this person is so cocky in themselves. And that again, like when you guys are around each other, even though they do like the most hurtful things, like I feel like again, this energy is not safe energy. There is like this sense of again, good stuff. Like it's almost like chocolate does what? It like it releases endorphins. So there is like this excitement and this, which happens a lot of times with karmic mates. There's a lot of sexual energy, a lot of passion. And so and the reason why I believe that is because there's always an opportunity for a karmic mate to step it up, to evolve with unconditional love is there. Though I don't feel that with this person, I feel like their ego is running the show. Their ego is running the show because you're getting away from them, because you detach from them, because you bowed out gracefully, because you're not crying and weren't able to destroy your life. They weren't able to manipulate you. They wasn't, so they're stuck to have to look at themselves. And that irritates this person. And so again, there's this sense of that I feel like this person doesn't know how to read their own emotions, number one. And I feel like they have so many different emotions when it comes to love. Like, and mainly because they're very wounded. So everything that they see and feel is always seen through and felt through the wounds that they have. So there's this excitement and there is passion and there is unconditional love because that's what transcends time and space. Also, relationships, there is unconditional love. However, this person has way too many, has way too much trauma that they haven't healed, and it does affect the relationships, and it definitely affected this relationship, and this person wants it to affect this relationship is what I see, because it's like you got away, you're like happy, you put mud on this person's face and they're not used to that. So it's again, it's like almost like exasperating the lack and this person's own wounds. And it's but chocolate is really the best way to like really describe this connection. Like it's almost like again the connection that they feel is you do elevate their mood, but then there's is a sense of where there is this unconditional love and this sweetness, then it triggers this person to want to become dominant and control and like almost like hurt you. Almost like it almost like makes them like again that where they get triggered if like here it is, you're gonna have the spotlight on you, you're gonna get attention. So it's almost like they want to come back into your life at that time, you know? Because again, they don't want the karma. Again, the wheel of karma is again what comes around goes around. But this person's not, again, there's consequences. They don't want to feel the consequences. They feel like this is a divine connection, and there's a sense of ever since you left them, I feel like their life has not gotten better, it's gotten worse. And this is what's exasperating why they're so focused on you and why they're actually went back to look at what went on in their like between you and them because you haven't been in their life and it seems since you haven't been in their life got worse. And so it's almost like again this karma, like at the wheel of karma, it's again blind justice. It's like this person doesn't want to receive the karma. It's again like what goes around comes around, the blind justice of that this person when they met you, they perceived that they were on like a high point within their life. They thought who they were, and the truth of the matter is they weren't that. Anyone can run around and be with 1,000 different people if it's the quality of people are again lower hanging fruit, that people that don't know any better, and any person can lie and connect with very lonely people and do what this person's done where they wanted to perceive that they were all that and a bag of chips. It's again, at the end of the day, they thought you were always going to be there. They thought that they were always going to come back to you. And what they're seeing is that you're not. And again, so it's almost like if I can't have you, no one will. Oh yeah, well, if you're not going to be with me, then I'm going to ruin your reputation. Then I'm going to ruin because I don't want to eat the karma. It's like I don't want to eat the karma. So if I can again fuck up your life where your life looks bad, then I won't regret the fact that I didn't do what I should have done with you. And this is almost like what this person actually thinks, which is so fucking crazy. It's again, and at this time, the situation or outcome, again, it would be very likely to occur. Okay, very likely to occur because it's again, they're not balanced, things are happening within you. Again, I feel like you there's a sense again of like you become the master of your own life, and this person doesn't feel like it. I feel like where you put the energy into yourself, you disconnected from this person, and you continue to work on yourself. And there's a sense that again, your life is a reflection of how you treated yourself, where you decided to put your time, your energy, focus, your money, how you decided to love yourself. And this person's life is a reflection of where they decided to put their time and energy. And they put their time and energy with a bunch of people that aren't in their life, that weren't worth anything. And that's why this person's pissed, because it's like they, again, thought that you were always gonna be there. And so we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? Because, like I said, we know that they're going to come back, but we don't want them to come back because don't trust this person. Again, because if there's somebody that's like, if I can't have you, no one will. Even if you were nice to them and they were like, oh, okay, now I'm going to be nice to you. Well, guess what? The first time that you stand up for yourself, the first time that you do something, this person has already shown you who they are. They also see that things are happening in your life. So it's again, if this person's extremely selfish, they don't know any better because they haven't done the healing. They're still in survival mode where it's all about them. And so we have to say again, frustration is in the inner child wound cards, by the way. So a lot of times our shadows are formed in our childhood. So we have to say, well, what was the trauma? So frustrating could be again, you grew up in the same type of environment where you didn't feel safe, where you didn't feel like you had parents, where everything was a production. Every day it was difficult. And that happens when you have an emotionally unavailable uh, parents, when you have, or whether that's one parent or the other parent, and then you have one parent that's angry because one parent is emotionally not available, that everything's a production, everything's a problem. So whatever you needed, whatever it was always push this person over the top. Why? Because the person was never happy to begin with. So anything that was out of the ordinary was exasperated like a big problem. So this person just dealt with, again, everything with anger and frustration. And I feel like somehow like you took that on because that parent continued to project their frustration onto you. And so if someone's continually projecting their frustration onto you, you're going to feel like there's like you're inadequate, like there's something wrong. Or again, begin to look at life through that lens, like everything's difficult because you're actually looking through the lens of anxiety, where you're worried about what might happen, what could happen, what did happen, instead of what is going to happen, which, if you are in the present moment, you're being led by your intuition and you're not being led by your ego. So again, I also feel like innocence. So I feel like somehow your innocence was used against you. So again, where usually children are allowed to feel innocent, right? I feel like this person thought that you were again naive also, by the way. They perceived you as being very innocent. And I also feel like you are someone that was very innocent, someone that was a highly sensitive child. So again, be wanting to give, wanting to be loved. And in that where you overgave and overdid because that parent was always angry and frustrated and you took it like it was some like how your fault. And so that if you gave and if you did, well then that person was not going to be angry. Where meanwhile they were just angry. And it didn't even have anything to do with you. It doesn't mean that they didn't take it out on you sometimes, but what it does mean is again that they just again had were fighting their own demons. And again, it made you feel very misunderstood. So again, this person feels out of tune. And so again, a lot of times highly sensitive people also feel misunderstood. Why? It's again because they're gonna verbalize what they need. They're gonna again set certain boundaries. Again, they're sensitive to their own needs, but they're also sensitive to other people. So I don't believe that setting your boundaries should have been a problem. I feel like it was a problem for this person because they weren't ready to give you anything. They didn't want to give you anything. So there was a sense of, I can't manipulate you, and I see that you're really not as innocent as I perceive that you are. So instead, it was like almost like I'm gonna punish you. And I just feel like it's kind of like how you felt growing up. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. Why am I getting like yelled at? Why am I like, again, why is it I must be being misunderstood? But again, if a child feels like they're misunderstood, then they're not going to feel safe. And they're not going to be safe to, again, to be transparent and to be emotionally vulnerable. And that's, again, going to create the same type of environment. And I kind of feel like that's what this person tried to recreate because of their issue. And maybe the old you would have been like, I can deal with someone that yells and screams and projects their bullshit because I grew up that way. But I feel like maybe at one point, and that was a very long time ago, but that's not really who you are today. Again, always had to listen to your inner authority. This is actually a gift. And I feel like that comes when you grow up in an environment where you don't have emotional security, where you can't rely on your parents, when you can't rely, and that could be because your parents worked all the time, or again, they were emotionally not available. So you had to listen to yourself. And I feel like that's really why you are intuitive. And that's why, again, you didn't have to wait for this relationship to crash and burn where this person betrayed you. You didn't use, the writing was on the wall. You listened to that inner authority. That's why you were able to detach. I feel like you have that inner authority because that's very strong, because there is a part of you that is very innocent. Again, you look through the perception of unconditional love, like you gave this person that. They were willing to take advantage of it. I feel like when you grew up, people took advantage of your kindness, of your of that love, that unconditional love that many empaths, highly sensitive people just automatically give. And that's the trauma, because it's like, again, why am I being misunderstood? Emotionally, I'm not getting what I need. So it really is frustrating. So what I feel like in this story is like, you were like, I should never feel, again, confused, or again feel frustrated to be involved with someone or to be connected to someone. If that's the case, then you're not my person. And I feel like that's why you were able to disconnect. And that's, here is the act of transmutation, is that you did something different. And I feel like in that, that's why things are happening for you. And this is why this person is watching now your blow up or something happening for you. And it's making them feel very uncomfortable because, like I said, they're not happy. They're stuck in grief because they know that they should have treated you right. And release. When we ask Spirit, what is the energy that we can, uh, that we can, bring into this situation, and what Spirit says is release. I stop fighting my fears and the hardships of life. I control my thoughts, live in the present moment, and accept each stage of life. I work on what I have power over and put into God's hands what I cannot change. I trust that everything will work out for the best. So really, I feel like it's that you can't control this person, and you would know that in controlling, it would be to like try and come in and fix. And you're like, I'm not going to try and change this situation. This situation is way too much for me because of this person's trauma. So I'm going to hand it back over to God. And again, I realize that each stage is helping me to evolve into the highest state of consciousness, into helping me step into my best self. So you may say, so why did I have to go through this? And so sometimes it's just to see that you can trust yourself, right? To go into a situation that maybe at one time seems so overwhelming to you, maybe again that there was so much feelings, so much hurt, maybe again foreclosure. So, or just see that this person gets to eat the karma because they didn't treat you well, and this was a divine connection, and instead of them treating you well, they treated you like shit, and that's why they're stuck in a place of grief. And I feel like sometimes the divine does that because it's like, you know what, it's like this was a gift, and you know that it's a gift. You knew it was a gift, but you spat on it and you didn't accept it. And that's why there, again, you had to, again, kind of close the energy out, where I feel like because this person kind of left it end opened, like you didn't talk to them, they didn't come back, they acted like they didn't care. Well, there was a sense of that you were gonna like, fix it. When you didn't, it's like you said, this person's stuck with it. And they're stuck with knowing that they had it, they could have had the best thing. And that again, it was a gift, but that it served as a point, like as a purpose for you to actually be able to close it out, almost like hand that shit bag back to them. Like it was like by them kind of like detaching and not really closing it out, there was always that hope that they could come back and pick it up wherever they left it off. And what this is, it's like, no, but you left me feeling like this because you were my person. It really should have worked. But you know, I hand it back to you, and that's why this person's angry. So we're going to leave that there. Be careful, Virgo. Do not give this person another chance. Their intentions are not good. All right. Love you. Bye.